Starting a project often means tackling mountains of information. Literature reviews, standards, and ethical guidelines can feel endless. Where do you even start? This video explores how AI can be used to enhance research. This falls under the conceiving stage of the Project Work Artificial Intelligence Integration Framework. You can use AI in a multitude of ways to undertake research. However, misusing AI in research is common, and the consequences can be severe. Through examples, I uncover risks and good practice. Let's explore some examples. For the first example, I'm going to start with a very broad prompt. I'm going to ask a very simple question based on reducing single-use plastics and ask for guidance on how I should undertake that research. As the output unfolds, I'm provided a whole range of suggestions and sub-questions that I should be investigating in order to undertake the research necessary for this question. Another approach might be to reflect on the research question and come up with some sub-questions yourself, and then enter them into AI, hoping to get some answers. And what you will see on the screen is connection to literature or research related to the questions that were posed. However, you need to be aware that this approach is rather problematic. This is because this approach is linked to high rates of hallucinations. Hallucinations are references to literature that doesn't actually exist or facts that don't actually exist. So you need to be very careful of that. So we need to think of more efficient approaches. Regardless of what approach you take, when it comes to research and AI, using CAC co-intelligence is never more important. There is no better example of demonstrating that you don't have critical thinking ability if you're producing a report that contains false information, false references. For this reason, you must apply CAC co-intelligence. You need to think about the research problem first. You use AI to enhance the process, but the final step is most important. You must check the information. You must critically analyze the information. You must validate the sources and be sure that the information is fit for purpose. For workers, it could be career ending. Do not make a mistake here. In summary, all research requires validation and in cases, expert approval. Let's consider prompting strategies. The best way of using AI is to build upon previous work. So I've created a prompt here that's going to build upon a requirements documentation that I did before and is available in the previous video. The output from this prompt shows how the AI can guide our direction. It can point us to different scholarly and non-scholarly resources to investigate, as well as a whole range of other sources of information, such as standards, policies, and other documents. In this manner, AI works as an assistant, helping us along the journey. Follow-on questions provided by the AI can help scaffold the process and further support your journey. Considering you're working on a project, you must probably have already completed a root cause analysis. So let's use AI to build upon your existing work. To do this, I've pasted in a fishbone diagram that I created for my root cause analysis, and I'm using that as the basis to provide suggestions on the type of research that I should be undertaking. As per the previous examples, you will see that the AI output provides us a good range of suggestions for me to follow up on. As before, the AI can be very helpful in suggesting possible pathways forward. I'm going to take up ChatGPT's recommendation so we can investigate the type of further information that it provides us. Again, we're able to see that the AI provides us with a great deal of information that we can reflect upon and consider. Now, a part of the CAC process is to verify all information provided by the AI. Enhanced research works best when the AI is capable of reaching out to the web to extract sources of information, which is what I'm going to do here. For this example, I'm going to take one part of the suggestion provided by the AI previously. What I want to know is whether this is an Australian standard, and if not, which is a relevant standard. I will really want more information. Through this targeted prompt, the AI is providing much detailed information. This example shows why it's important to verify all information. In this case, I needed Australian standards, but I wasn't originally given Australian standards. Now, having web search also allows you to verify the sources of information. It's important that you follow the sources, you click on the links, and you match the information provided at the source together with that provided by the AI. You also need to check, is the source actually a valid source? Can you rely upon that information? Just because you've been connected to a source doesn't mean that the information is actually correct. Now I introduce you to deep research, probably one of the greatest features associated with modern AI tools. The advantage of deep research is that it can connect you directly to peer-reviewed articles or other scholarly literature. A key advantage of this is that it connects you directly to relevant research and eliminates hallucinations. However, it is not a perfect solution. You still need to verify that the sources of information are reliable, valuable, fit for purpose, etc. Evaluative judgment is required. The more information you can provide in your prompt and the more targeted your prompt, the better your response will be. You will notice once you've placed your prompt, you'll be asked with a range of clarifying questions. This can take quite a bit of time to complete and usually requires a paid subscription. After 11 minutes, it completed its search. What follows is a very detailed summary of information pulled from a variety of sources across peer-reviewed research. The information is presented exactly as I had asked. All information is connected to sources of information. As I'd mentioned previously, you can look at all this information, use it as a guide, but you must apply the cat co-intelligence. The final component must come from you. This information is not perfect and never will be. You always need to adapt it to your needs. You always need to apply quality control. In conclusion, this video has provided a whole range of different approaches and strategies to use AI to enhance your research when it comes to project work. The pathway forward really depends on your preliminary work that you're building a foundation upon. Regardless, it's always vital to apply cat co-intelligence. Do the background work first yourself. Usually, this might be via conducting a requirements document or a root cause analysis and using that as the foundation to enhance with AI. Always think about the consequences using AI the wrong way. As I'd mentioned previously, for students, using false hallucinated references can be devastating for your progress. For workers, it could end your career. Use AI for research wisely and correctly. I'm Dr. Sasha Nikolic. Thank you for watching.